Welcome to Rhythm and Roads. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest with us. We have Harmony Schlesinger. She's actually an actor, singer, and director. Whoa. So welcome to welcome to Rhythm and Roads. Appreciate you, Harmony.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be talking with you today.
Oh yeah. It was cool meeting you finally at the festival, Las Cruces
Mhm.
International Festival. That was pretty fun, huh? I-
Yeah,
Was
it was
that
an amazing weekend, just like
Oh,
getting to meet
definitely.
everyone and talk to everyone about their work.
Oh, it definitely was. I was just like, man, it feels like Hollywood. I'm just here among the stars and all the creative, skilled actors and directors. It was just so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your, before we get into the interview, what was your most memorable experience from the festival?
Ooh, well, okay. So honestly, all of it was very fun. Getting to see Ryan Rox's film Hidden Flora was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
But also the short film that I was a part of a year ago, that was part of the CMI students,
Oh, okay.
their MCPs.
Okay.
It was called Starcrossed, and
Okay.
I met my partner on that, my boyfriend, and it ended up winning its category, which was really cool.
Hey, congrats on
Yeah,
that. That's
and it was
cool.
really exciting to get to like celebrate that with the director and some of the crew members and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, that was really exciting.
That's awesome. Congrats on that. Look, that's a plus. You met your boyfriend on there and your the film that you were part of got awards. So that's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was a great time, especially the VIP parties. They were always fun.
Hmm.
Just being able to network and just get to know everyone. I mean, everyone was so great that I've met.
Hmm.
Thank you for coming up too and just saying hi. And I was hoping to, see because there was so many people there. I was just like, oh my,
Yeah.
like, how am I supposed to meet meet my friends that were supposed to be hi? Then I see you coming. I'm like, oh, thank God, there's someone I know too. So that was fun. Yeah. Well, thank you, Harmony, for sharing a bit of your story from the festival, and congrats
Hmm.
again on that film.
Thank
Well, let's
you.
let's go back in time. Let's go back to the journey on the road of yours with wanting to pursue acting.
Hmm.
So, who or what inspired you to want to pursue being an actor?
Well, I guess I could say that it's part of like my like upbringing. I kind of grew up doing theater, so
Okay.
it was kind of like all of the experiences that I had as a kid accumulated. I just like was born and I like was wanting to be on stage. There's like the story that my mom has about taking me to, they used to do like a costume contest for like this big Halloween thing that would happen, I think at
Oh,
the
okay.
Civic Center.
Mhm.
And they would have like the dancers go up and perform like all of the dance studios. And I was just like having a hissy fit trying to get on that stage. And so it's just, yeah, all of that. I did theater at El Paso Kids and Co. from the time that I was like 4 until like I was 15 and ready to do stuff in my high school. And even then, like I went back and helped and taught.
Oh,
Um, and I within film, I kind of like got the opportunity to do commercials as a kid.
whoa, no
Um,
way.
and also meeting George Barahona from Boards Film Studios. He had me
Oh,
working a
cool.
lot. So
Yeah,
yeah.
good for you. Which commercials were you in?
Oh my gosh. I was in EP Dentistry for Kids.
Aw.
I was in this funny El Paso water utilities commercial
Oh, really?
with
I didn't
a
even know they
lady.
did commercials.
Yeah. It was really funny. It was with this lady named Jan Wolf, and she's supposed to be like putting on too much makeup, and I walk in and I'm like, "Grandma," and she turns around and she has this face of like caked on makeup, and I'm
Oh
like,
my God. That's funny.
"Yeah."
That's cool. So that was kind of the launch of also being part of some commercials, huh? Just the
Hmm.
love for acting and being in some shorts.
Hmm.
Yeah. Nice.
Hmm.
Well, I know that's not the only thing you know how to do. So there's also singing. Well, before we get into that, so with the acting, where did you lead your next like what other project did you were a part of as you got into like college and all that?
So I would say that like my acting side has slowed down a little bit.
Okay.
I moved to Albuquerque for a year for school, and then I had to come home just because of circumstances.
Oh, we almost
And
have the same story because I lived in Albuquerque last year for about 8 months.
oh yeah, really?
Yeah. I came back home. Anyway.
Yeah. Um, and so like after that, it kind of like I haven't been focused on acting.
Okay.
I did a play with Star in the Mountain Theater about a year ago.
Oh,
And then I a couple of things with George where he just needed someone to help out and I was there. So yeah. And Star-Crossed, which
our
was a
cross.
very amazing opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
congrats on that. Georgia Townsend, I'm actually going to be interviewing next month. But it's funny because I had a class with her at NMSU about 3 years ago, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I mean, very passionate, just so love of the game of just everything that about
Mhm.
wanting to, be better in this field. And I just saw that drive in her, and it was just awesome. And now to see where she's at, like that's
Mhm.
awesome. But yeah, so that's cool. I'm sorry, I did not see the film. I was trying to catch up. I didn't really see a lot of films from the interviews from that I did prior, but I
Mhm.
did see Hidden Flora. I did see Who's Afraid, some other projects. But anyway, but yeah,
Mhm.
when I saw that that film got an award, I was like, that's awesome. Star-Crossed, yeah. I would like
Mhm.
to see it. So hopefully, before the interview with Georgia, I'll ask her if I could try it out, see it out.
Mhm.
But anyway. All right, cool. So, as of right now, you don't have anything up in line for future acting roles, or?
Not at the moment.
No, okay, that's
Definitely
fine.
looking around. I'm starting to kind of want to get back into that space a little bit, but I feel like I've been a little more focused on trying to figure out what I wanted to do in film, and I feel like I'm definitely finding my footing in that a little bit now.
Well, now let's transition from your story from being an actor
Mhm.
to singing. So, that's something that you've done for a while, or talk about that for a bit.
So honestly, I would say that like my growing up in theater and like singing go hand in hand for me.
Okay.
Just because, like I was a theater kid and at Kids and Co we did a bunch of musicals and stuff. And so I fell in love with singing theatrically. Um and yeah, it's something that will always be like a core part of who I am for sure.
Really? Well, I'm
Mhm.
gonna put you on the spot. So, sing us a Disney song. Ready? Go. That's I'm not gonna do that. Like, wait, I'm not prepared.
I just woke up. My voice
Oh,
is
that
not.
too. Yeah, that doesn't help either. Like, I'm still half asleep. What are we doing? Who are you? Like, oh, you're on Rhythm and Roads. Welcome. Are you awake now? You're like, oh, it's Joshua. Oh, hi. After all this time, you weren't even aware what was going on. Like, I'm still asleep in here.
Sleep talking right now.
That's funny. All right. Well, I mean, so with the kind of singing that you do, is it more for like Broadway show kind of thing, like musical, Phil?
I
Or
would
you?
say for sure, yeah, it's definitely more like a musical theater style.
Okay.
I definitely have more of that kind of a voice,
Okay.
but I don't know. I like write my own stuff here and there. It's been a
Dang,
while,
really?
but
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I was gonna say, are you the next Katy Perry, Dua Lipa?
I would say probably more like I don't know who's a good representation of like
Is it
I would
more like
say like
pop?
something more Broadway. Yeah.
More Broadway? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. One of my favorite soundtracks from like musicals, Broadway. Well, first is Grease. That's always a classic. But it's
Mhm.
Rent.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Rent is, oh my God. Like when I first saw Rent, the movie, not that I
Yeah.
haven't seen the Broadway, but when I saw the movie,
Hmm.
just the soundtrack is incredible.
It
Just,
is incredible.
yeah, I
I
mean,
love that show.
that movie's great. Like, yeah. But that's cool. You know how to sing. I mean, that's awesome. I wish I could sing, but oh well. But,
Hey,
well,
I'm a
actually,
firm believer that anyone can sing. It just takes the right training, to be honest.
I don't even, yeah, great point. I don't even know why I said that because I'm actually my singer coach or coach. I don't know how you pronounce whatever you want to say of how
Mhm.
she's coming later today. We're gonna work on some. So I met with her and she kind of was like listening to me. She's professional singer
Mhm.
and a coach on how to develop your voice. And so when I met with her, yeah, she's like, no, you do have something. Now I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
I'm the next Scott Stapp from Creed or something like that, but she did say that I have something that's there that I can use, and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
So you're
I
right on that. Everyone does have a certain voice that is.
mhm. I will fully preach till the day I die. Like if you think that you can't sing, the problem is probably mostly that you just haven't learned pitch
Mm,
or that you don't understand like the mechanics of your body.
there you go.
And there's always someone that can teach you how to do that. And I feel like anyone can learn how to sing. It
There
may
you go.
be a little bit more natural for some people,
Right, right.
but like I believe that anyone can get to that point.
No, yeah, well said. I'm a strong believer in that too. Yeah.
Mhm.
So now that we've gone through the chapter of you being a singer, you're also a director.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, so we're gonna go into that. So how did that transition from acting and then being a singer? Then from there, you're like, you know what? That little spark of fire was like, I want to learn how to direct.
Well, that I would also say I feel like everything in my life has come from my theatrical upbringing, all of my
Okay.
friends, all of the lessons that I've learned.
Yeah.
And in theater within my high school, and then also at Kids and Co, I kind of started to gain a little bit more responsibility.
Mm.
So I assistant directed my first show when I was 15 at El Paso Kids and Co, and that was a musical called Godspell. And I did that with my friend Rachel Robbins, who now lives in New York, and she's
Oh,
very cool.
nice. All right.
Yeah. And at my high school, I was actually given the opportunity to direct a play, and all of us kind of like had to submit our ideas in, and I was the only one who actually submitted doing a musical. So
Really?
I
Oh,
got to
wow.
direct 21 Chump Street, which is a 15-minute musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda,
Okay.
and it I was very like excited to get to do that
Oh,
because
yeah.
um it really taught me a lot about working with your actors and like having to communicate. And
Mm.
at the time I was 16, so um I wasn't very prepared yet, but it gave me a lot of that knowledge. And then as I got older, I became so much more interested in film and wanting to do that.
Mm.
And with the opportunities that I've had to be on set, I just was very inspired and wanted to do that. And I sat down with my friend George, again from Word Film Studios, and I was like, I really want to direct something. Can you please help me along with that process? And he gave me like the groundwork of what I needed to figure out. And
Yeah.
I got to writing. So and that's where I Like You a Bot came from, because that's my first short film that has been out there.
Repeat the title again of the film.
I Like You a Bot.
Oh, I like you a bot. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool title. And great point too. I have to say, some of the actors that I've spoke with, and I got some advice at the from the festival. I said, how would you learn to want to develop your skill in being an actor? Like if you're starting for fresh.
Mhm.
And they always would recommend theater,
Mhm.
like you did. So yeah, because you get the full experience. There's no cut. There's no let's retake. It's just much once you learn and you go on
Yeah.
stage, it's pretty much it's on. If you mess up, you mess up. You keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exciting. So I want to
And
learn that. I spoke with Autumn, and hopefully her and I can develop my skill being a
mhm.
background actor, but starting at theater first. So
Mhm. And theater is definitely a very good way to get to know people as well, and like network within the
yeah,
community, because a lot of people that do theater also do film, especially like in this area.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, that's well, I'm glad that you have the same mindset, that it's really the theater is the aspect of learning the skill of that. So
Mhm.
really cool. I'm looking forward to learning that. Okay, well, let's get into your film. I like you a bot. Let's just see.
Yes.
So, did you write this script or who wrote it?
I wrote, directed, and edited the entire
The
thing.
whole
So
thing.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So, so yes, what inspired you to write a film with that title? I Like You a Bot.
Well, actually, so that's kind of a funny story. So I wrote it without a title at first.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of about this robot who is learning to deal with kind of human and serious emotions,
Mhm.
and that's just not who he is because he's a robot, and he and his girlfriend are like going through a breakup, and he has this little robot toy that is a Valentine's Day toy that was given to him by his
Oh,
girlfriend. And on the little toy there's like a little heart that says I like you a bot, and that's where the title came from.
interesting.
It
All
was because
right.
I had written it and I found the toy and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Wow. So the actual toy that you bought says that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. I thought you just added it on the robot, but no,
I
that's,
can show you. I think it's
yeah,
still
show it.
here. Let me go grab
Yeah, go ahead.
her. So here, here's the toy.
That's
Yeah.
cute. Wow, now we have a special guest. Welcome.
Yes.
That's cool. I like you about it. Great. That's there's see what I mean? Certain things that just present itself for you for ideas. It was on that.
Yeah.
Thing. So continue on that story. So with that, because you're saying that the robot doesn't feel, of course, because it's a robot. So what's the rest of the story on the film?
Well, it's kind of so so they have to meet up to exchange. He has a box of her stuff,
Oh, I
and
see.
this robot is very clean and practical, and it's kind of like looming over him in his back seat, his this box of her stuff. And when goes to see her, he's just so excited to get rid of it that he just gives it to her. And then he doesn't really realize what the impact of that is, saying goodbye to someone like that
Mhm.
for the first time. Like she's very hurt by the fact that he would give her back something that was so special that she had given him,
Right.
which is more specifically the robot toy. She picks it up and she's like, "Oh, like I thought that you would keep this because like, you know."
Yeah.
Um and he kind of has to sit with the feeling of like realizing, "Oh, I hurt her," and having to grow from that. And in the end, like he goes and he gets it back from her, and they share a little goodbye moment.
Oh,
So yeah.
wow. So does the robot ever develop feelings
I would
or
say that
emotions?
it's kind of the robot. He does have feelings.
Okay.
It's just more the way that I would kind of explained this film, and the reason that it came out the way that it did
Mhm.
is that in my personal life I kind of feel like I'm walking around and interacting with everyone with like this box on my head, because I feel like there's like a certain part of me that never learned how to like socialize correctly, or like it's difficult sometimes, and just like growing up, I didn't really know how to handle things like that, like goodbyes with friends, or like ends of relationships. It kind of was really difficult for me to understand what the other person was going through, and um and also like what I was going through. Like, you just learn those things as you get older.
Yeah.
And it this short film kind of for me was like a reflection of how that felt.
Mm.
And Robot very much like is a reflection of that. He doesn't talk the whole time. And my actor, who is very graceful, shout out to Angel. It's a lot of like physical acting and showing like what his thought process is
Mm.
and what his wants are in the moment, and he has to do that entirely like physically,
Mhm.
which was actually not that much of a challenge. I was very excited because Angel was very great with that, but yeah.
Cool. Interesting that thanks yeah, thank you for sharing that. Interesting that you mentioned that about just how to deal with I get being socializing with different people and just like you said, learning how to say goodbye growing up and
Mhm.
breakups with relationships. I mean, yeah, life's not given a book on 101 on how to deal with things like that as you're growing up. You just learn from it. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
we all can I guess sort of relate to that growing up. I mean, we all have to go through the learning of experience of your first breakup, right? And yes, family and friends can, be there for you, but it's really your own journey and just how to deal with the emotion of, wow, this is my first breakup I ever experienced, or how do you say goodbye and with certain people in a way that's like you said, you just develop those skills and learning how to deal with certain things in life and have
Yeah.
a proper way of dealing things in life. It's interesting. So it's really about your experience from the past.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, now it's like inspired by a true story. That's funny. Well, we want to get to know you in the personal side, and thank you for sharing your journey on Rhythm and Roads of just from acting, singing, and directing. And yeah, we wish you the best for the future of just what other projects you're going to be directing. Hopefully, you'll go on tour with your new music album coming out. You never know. Um,
Yeah,
but
you never know.
you never know. I mean, or be on the Broadway show, and yeah, I don't know. But so the what I always like to ask my guests is like what movies out there from growing up when you were young that inspired you as well? Because you're into film, you're into acting, and so do you have a certain film that you like when you were like growing up? It could be Disney, it could be some other film. You're just like, oh, when I see that film, it's just like, whoa.
You know, I have like the girliest taste in movies ever. Um,
That's
so
fine.
there is this movie from the 70s called The Last Unicorn, and it's an
Okay.
animated film.
Okay.
And the author of it, when he wrote it, he wrote a book and he wanted it to be transferred to screen very accurately from the book.
Okay.
And so he didn't want to give it to Disney. Like Disney wanted to buy it
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
he was like, "No, no, no, because you're going to change this because it's kind of like a scary-ish. I'll get into that."
Yeah.
And what ended the studio that ended up picking it up was this small animation studio in Japan,
Oh,
and
wow.
that studio later became Studio Ghibli.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Um, and this film is kind of about what it's like walking around as a woman in the world. And it's about this unicorn who discovers that she's the last one
Mhm.
and that all of the other unicorns have been taken and trapped by this red bull and that she needs to go and save all of them. And it's a very like dark, deep, mystical type of a story, but it's
Sounds like
so beautiful and it's very interesting. And there's a lot of moments that are very like mystical, but they're also very nuanced conversations for like a children's film about a greater issue that happens within the world, just like what it's like to be a woman, and then also like what it's like to be poor, what it's like to be underestimated, just all of those things.
interesting. Wow. And when did this film come out or this animated short?
I want to say it was very early 80s. It's a feature length
Oh, it
film.
is. Okay.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. So that's the main one that you just are inspired by.
I would say that that film was the first one that I grew to really appreciate what filmmaking was like. I know that it's different because it's animation,
Right. Right.
but in terms of like the storytelling and the way that it's set up, like I when I was younger, that's the one that I fell in love with for sure. I used to watch that movie all the time as a kid.
Wow. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that and the story behind it too. I never thought Disney was going to buy it or want to purchase it, and then they were, yeah. Well, good for them that they stood by that because now look where they're at, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. All right, what about music? So who or yeah, what is your playlist looking like right now on the top artists or who you've been listening to lately?
I would also say that I have a very like girly basic music taste.
That's
um my number one lately, if you can't tell with the red hair, Chapel Roan, my girl.
Wait, which group?
Oh, do you know who Chapel Roan is?
I don't.
You don't know who Chapel Roan is?
Chaperone?
Yes.
No, is this
You
a pop singer? I mean, what?
have you heard the song Hot to Go? No. You
No,
gotta look it up.
I
You
have to look
gotta.
it up now.
Mhm.
Okay, so what kind of genre is this music? Is it pop,
She's
rock,
she's pop, yeah.
cheese pop? Cheese pop?
Yeah, so Chapel Roan, she's a drag queen
Oh, I see. Okay.
who makes music
Oh,
essentially,
okay.
and so like that's her drag name essentially.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's your top song right now that you've been listening to.
Yeah, she's probably my top artist right now. I love Phoebe Bridgers. I don't know if you know who Phoebe Bridgers is. She writes kind of like singer-songwritery,
Oh, wow.
um folky type music, and she has a band called Boy Genius that I really love.
Boy Genius. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, that's why I like asking my guests their style of music because we all have our different tastes and different style, and that's cool. There's things, yeah, there's music artists that I share to people. They're like, "Who's that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Know them?" But it's just that's awesome. Just that's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
Well, before we end the podcast, I really want to appreciate you coming on here. And I do want to ask you, do you have any advice for future film students there or those that are in school right now wanting to learn to be an actor, the whole industry, just what would you like to suggest on that? Your advice.
Um, I would say a like number one thing, like put yourself out there. You never know who's going to be in the room who wants to talk to you. Like if you have something that you want to show, go submit it to the rap. That's how I met Ryan Rocks, and actually
Okay.
she's given me a lot of opportunity already. She helped me get into the Femme Frontera
Wow.
um showcase that is going to be happening in June. That's the first festival my short film has gotten into, which is really
Oh,
cool.
cool. Congrats.
And I've gotten to now work with her on a project that she's working on, and like really just like getting to know the people that are in the room, getting to talk to them. It's always very important because you never know who you're going to be able to learn from, who you're going to be able to work with,
Mm.
and then also just like knowing what your strengths are and going for the things that you really want to go for.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. Well, thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that. Yeah. And that's the thing, like you said, have that strength to just overcome the obstacles of fear,
Yeah.
criticism, people saying, "Oh, I don't think you can do that." Just speak
Yeah.
what you feel. That's your journey, that's your own story, so you go with what you feel.
And also just life. It's
Mm.
hard out here trying to make a living and also work on your art. And
True. Yeah.
so like don't let that get in your way. Like make time for the things that make you you.
That's
So
right. Well said. Yeah, that's very true. Even when you do go to your job, just always know that you have something to look forward to, either in acting, writing a song, directing a film, editing, whatever it is. Let that fire be in you for when you're out at work, and that's just your stepping stone for
yeah,
something. That's just
exactly.
that's just temporary for you to be on your journey to something greater. So, well said, Harmony. Dang, I'm gonna come to you for some advice. Be like, yo, I need some advice, girl. I'm just having a rough
Anytime,
day.
anytime.
That's right. No, you really did say it really well. That was awesome. Great advice. Thank you. So, for the viewers to find you on social media, how can they find you?
So I do have Instagram. It's at Harmony F Singer.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's honestly the main place right now. And if you follow me there, I'll post about any other types of places to reach me. So yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Harmony, for coming on Rhythm and Roads. Appreciate you sharing your journey. It was really inspiring, and thanks for the advice as well for the viewers. And we look forward to seeing your future projects. Just in whatever you do, do at your best, and we'll be there to support. So,
Thank you so much for having me.
yes, Thank you. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next episode.